There it goes again. Now we should be solid ground here. This is going out on data. Oh, there's the sun. There's the sun right now. The disk, the sun disk is appearing. Good morning, Guatemala. I hadn't realized we had Guatemala following us for a while. Johannesburg. And I just have to guess where all the others are. Malaysia. Hey, Vance, long time no see. At least I didn't notice. This is just a beautiful spot right now. Let's go and try and catch the sun more clearly there in its furnace. Hey, Galway. Nobody from Clare. And Wisconsin. So I got news last night from one of the agencies here that we have. A group was arriving yesterday, I think, already. It was planned, I was told they were going to come to Magdalene a couple of weeks ago, but it was all iffy. But apparently they were arriving yesterday. From the States, I think it's a Methodist group. And we are very happy for every group. Some people were misled the other day when I posted a reel on Instagram of the Korean church from Jerusalem singing, but they're actually Koreans who live here. They weren't people who came in. You kind of don't want to leave the spot, do you? But we're strolling, we're strolling. So this is sunrise stroll and chat. So we stroll, we keep our eyes peeled to see what is going to come through these wonderful creatures, glances of light, glimpses of light, glances of glory. Clouds make a huge difference, don't they? The sunrise beauty is enhanced. And actually, that's true of our lives, really true. We don't like the clouds because we prefer to have just clear paradise all the way, and moments of suffering and difficulty and tension are too much for us. We have such a short fuse and we blow up. So the readings this morning are quite a blessing. I would call it a familiarity with destitution. Yesterday we had Matthew, a tax collector, and the tax collectors were pretty well known as people of wealth, because my dad used to say sometimes if everybody had their own, some people would have a lot less. It was a wry comment about how people sometimes profit on the backs of others unfairly. Well, there's also fair profit. Wow, there's a huge fish jumped over here. Oh, he jumped again. Let's jump again for our people. Right over here. But you know, get the fish to jump 3 times, that's another story. See him jump twice. And I can't jerk the camera across that fast, otherwise you guys might faint. Look at that sky. It's like watching a fireplace, or it's kind of untiring. It's always a new creation. It reaches our soul. We're still in the 30s here, so we're not lighting any fires for a while, but I think some of you guys up in Saskatchewan and other places might be having snow already. Although our wonderful, I call him our hippie friend here, he passed by 15-20 minutes ago. He's wearing a shirt now. He was down to the absolute minimum before all summer. So the temperatures have dropped a little, but at night time they drop into the low 20s. And that's much more comfortable, obviously. And in the daytime they're still over 30. And we're coming towards the end of September, the fall equinox yesterday. So let's get back to Matthew. He was over here actually, we can see right now for Capernaum. Let me see if I can see that white little spot over here. It's a little hazy this morning, but over here on the edge of the water, on the north shore of the Sea of Galilee. And the tax collectors, you know, had it wasn't surprising that they were wealthy and that they showed their wealth. And so you combine the instructions of the gospel today with the words of Ezra, summarizing the experience of the people after the exile, of how destitute they became. That guy was standing all the time, so he's taking a break now. He came up from the Tiberias direction on his paddleboard, so maybe he's taking out his camera for a photograph as well. I don't know. Or maybe it's time for a sandwich, for a little breakfast. He's not moving fast, it's just I'm moving the camera. And because the trees are moving here, it looks like he's moving, but he's rather slow. Let's come down here and check him out over here. Oops, sorry about that. That's like driving by in a fast train or in an airplane just before it lifts. You see how slowly he's traveling. He doesn't realize he's being watched right now in Malaysia and in Guatemala and South Africa and Canada. From South America to North America to Asia, Singapore, Australia. But there he is, happy. Happy as Larry. And the light's changing. Familiarity with destitution. That's a great teacher in life. And the people learn so much. Destitution is very tough. Destitution is very tough. But wealth and consumerism spoils us profoundly. One alcohol after another alcohol. Another glass after that. And stuff more food after that food. And wear different clothes each hour. And use all different kinds of creams and have all different kinds of loudspeakers and ranges of musics, and you know, all these things are good, they're beautiful creatures, but we become consumers. And the school of destitution is really a school. It's an experience. And you can have destitution in your own flesh, which is really, you can't ignore it. You can't blow it away. Some people do probably with addictions, but they become more destitute as a result. Because addictive behavior is often, well, it's consequence, but it's also cause of further ruin. And ruin in one area, let's say alcohol, becomes ruin in sexuality or ruin in relationships. And it's good when people wake up to the fact that they're on a ruinous path, that they're also contributing to their own eventual destitution. But the good news is that God doesn't abandon us in our destitution. And the amazing news is that the Messiah came and he said, hey folks, I want you to live without anything. Matthew, tax collector, we remembered you yesterday, and now Jesus is saying, just bring one cloak. Don't bring a second change of shoes, of clothes. You know, that's pretty powerful stuff. And that's kind of a voluntary destitution. I think somebody was visiting yesterday in Magdalene, you know, and trying to figure out how I live. And I said, well, 47 years ago I joined the seminary and I've never gotten a paycheck. And I don't have any money and I don't have a bank account. And I'm dependent on Providence. And we had very tight times during Corona here at Magdala. No income, and we had burdens financially, taxes and some salaries. So it became very difficult. So now he has stood up and he's beginning to move. The school of destitution, a school of a pathway actually to integrating our history. Many times we have a major rupture in our lives, a major, very disconcerting experience, usually of the negative sort, and we no longer understand who we are and why we're here and what's going on and what's the sense of it all. And we enter profound crisis. And the school of destitution is one of the major instruments for re-establishing identity. Because then we come to rock bottom, you know, rock bottom. We touch the bottom. And it can happen in our health, it happens in relationships, it happens in every facet of our life. It happens in business. After so much work, so many years, people who struggled so hard can be at the doors of bankruptcy. And all the efforts to save the company and the workers' jobs becomes almost impossible. There's no chance, no hope left. And there's such a lesson for the human being, because the human being is going to survive all the catastrophes. And then how do we integrate the major setbacks, the major letdowns, the major betrayals? How do we integrate our history so that we don't lose meaning and purpose? And Jesus calls his disciples to leave everything, not to put their trust on these small possessions we have, these small feeling goods we have, these small little creature comforts and consolations. And he wants his disciples to live rock bottom, trusting in providence from the beginning. Otherwise, they won't be able to teach something solid to God's beloved people. And at the end of the day, one of the deepest destitution levels is our morality. And we all depend completely on grace. So the second part of the process is not just destitution. That's just like the doctor opening up to get to the abscess, to get to the tumor. The second part is actually grace. It's God's presence. God never abandons us in our destitution. And that's Ezra's amazing experience and what he is communicating in the book of Ezra. It is a powerful experience of God being present and accomplishing his work in our lives, in our communities, in our people, in our families. And to have and develop that great trust that is absolutely the right way to go. This is the core, solid, rock bottom reality. Nothing can shake it, because he is always with us, the Almighty. This is really where it's at, people. This is the beauty and the greatness of life. And so we'll finish off today with one word from the Psalm: Blessed be God who lives forever. The discovery of all our crises, the integration of all our history. Blessed be God who lives forever. Look at our little guy out there in his paddleboard. Very far away for our camera, but there he is, just left of center of screen. We don't get him in the lineup with the sun, but our time is up. So maybe we'll have that pleasure another day. And here comes Father Juan, but he's also coming late for our sunrise stroll and chat, so we'll just see him in the distance. And there I heard a fish jump again, but we can't see him. So God bless you, people. It's been wonderful to have you here today. See you later, alligators. I just put this on now.